Directions for your apple blossoms. Remember your name and teacher code on both the square piece and the rectangular piece of paper. On the square piece of paper, using an oil pastel, make a tiny little mark in approximately the middle. Then you're going to make big petals that go almost to the edge of your paper, and they should be fairly wide, probably enough to fit most of your hand inside of them. When you're starting the next one, you're not drawing the entire one. It's kind of hiding behind the first petal. And then the next one, I am drawing the whole entire one really close up next to my edge. Make sure that you're drawing really big. The next one, I'm going to only do part of a petal showing. And then the last one, I do the entire petal. You might have more or less petals than me. Make sure that you're drawing very, very big. To create your leaves, you'll use the rectangle piece, probably about a finger from the top and then about halfway down. You're going to add dots so you know where the top of your leaf will be. And you're going to make the same shape as a petal. Should probably be able to fit a hand between those two dots, like a spread out hand. And draw a big petal almost next to the edge. And then same thing on the bottom. It's okay if they are different. And then go ahead and make a line that goes right down the middle. Then you'll begin with paint. I'm going to use red, magenta, and white. I'll start with the red and just start adding swoops of color around the edge of my petal. And then when I add white, I'm not going to stir. I will just dip into the white because I'm not trying to make a new color in my egg carton, and kind of start to spread it out and create a tint by adding white to my red. So every time that I dip into one of the reds or pinks, I am not rinsing, but I am not stirring the paint because I don't want to change it. So here I'm using more white than I did on the first one, and then grabbing a little red to kind of add some contrast here. You get to paint these in however you decide. If you want more white or less white, that is okay too. When you're ready to switch colors, rinse very, very thoroughly. These brushes are a little tough sometimes to rinse out. Kind of stamp gently in the bottom. And then using a paper towel, give it a good squeeze and get that extra water and paint out. Same thing goes for painting the leaves. You don't have to rinse between the colors, but you do not stir the paint in the egg carton. At cleanup time, use a very large piece of cardboard and put both of your pieces on there and carefully place it on the drying rack so nothing falls off. Once everything is dry, you have to do your final touches by outlining the spaces that you painted over by mistake. And then you're going to carefully cut everything out, trying your best not to cut the black line off. Remember, the hand holding the paper kind of does the steering, and the scissors just carefully open and close. When you're done cutting, you need to decide where you want your leaves to be peeking out behind the petals of your flowers. Everyone's will look a little different because all of our flowers and leaves are a little different shape. I decided I'm going to put mine in two different spots. Just put a little bit of glue on the top part of your leaf, and you're going to have it peeking out from between some petals. And then the next one, same thing, just a few dots of glue. Don't go too overboard because we don't want it to squish out. And then I'm going to gently flip my apple blossom over, and I'm going to rub on the spaces on the back of my paper where the glue is to help it stick down more securely. For the very last little detail, use a cotton swab to dot yellow in the middle of your flower. And this time you'll use a small piece of cardboard to place it on the drying rack.